doing another reading vlog. And for today's video, I wanted to theme my books around recommendations that I've got from friends and family. I have such a wide range of books that I read. Like, I don't really have a favorite genre, I don't think. A lot of people tend to like stick to just YA or just romance or just fantasy or something, but I love everything. Each recommendation that I've got is very different, so I'm excited to read them, and a few of them have actually been on my list for ages. So the first book that I'm going to read is actually recommended by one of my work friends, Frankie. I believe this is her favorite book, I think that's what she said to me, and it's Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. Frankie's super smart, really good at poetry, and just a really cool person, so I feel like this book is gonna give me all of those things. I've also seen that this is one of Pedro Pascal's favorite books. I don't actually know what it's about, apart from that I think it's a gay couple and something bad happens. I'm very excited to see where this goes. Only like 78 pages in, but that is like halfway through this book because it is very short. I'm a little bit confused. I feel like there's no specific events that kind of have happened so far apart from them meeting each other, and even that, it just felt very like vague. It feels like he's just brushing over their whole relationship. I don't feel like I'm there with them. I don't know much about them or their relationship just yet, so I'm struggling to like feel anything for them. I feel really bad because this is Frankie's favorite book. Maybe I'll feel something towards the end because the whole way through it's alluding to something happening to Giovanni. Also, Giovanni just said that women need a good beating, so don't love him. I know this is like the 50s, but still, should it really be that crazy to not want to beat a woman? I'm gonna continue. Hopefully this gets a little bit better. I'm sorry, Frankie.
Come and meet me at my old apartment. Boxes on the floor. I've been waiting all night for you. Come on, I've been waiting all night for you. I know you don't believe me, but this is where I saw you for the first time, and that was when I knew. I've been waiting all my life for you.
Okay, Giovanni's Room. All done. Definitely a sad ending. However, I really didn't connect to the characters. You learn about Giovanni and David's relationship, but I don't really feel it. Maybe because it's a short book and I didn't really get to know them very well. I've had this before with shorter books. I feel like you just don't get the time to get to love them yourself. So when something bad or something good happens to them, like it's not that I don't care, I just don't feel as much as I wish I could. I do think it was written very beautifully, like just the descriptions. Also, this is obviously a book about two gay men, and this was in the 1950s, so it's very like ahead of its time. So I understand why some of the descriptions of women are really awful, and also how it was never actually said like they are gay men. It was like always alluded to. So yeah, it's not explicit at all, and that kind of adds to the whole secrecy of their like little affair that they're having. I'm not one to really like adore modern classics. I actually don't know if I've read one yet that I have been like, wow, that was amazing. But I'd still rate this like, I want to say like a 3 out of 5, and that's quite good for me. 4 is amazing and 5 is perfect. 3 is like solid. I would recommend it to someone, but I'm not going to be reading it again. Thank you, Frankie, for letting me borrow this book. I'm sorry that I don't love it as much as you do, but it's still great. Maybe I will understand this more and like it more when I actually discuss it with Frankie, because I know she'll have a lot to say about it. So next up, I think I want to get outside now, because I've been in my bedroom all day just trying to like finish this book. It's a beautiful day outside, so I think I'm going to head to the park and maybe take like a little picnic with me. I'm also going to start reading the next book that has been recommended by my dad. He told me to read this book, I don't know, like a decade ago. When did this come out? This came out in 2012, but recently on TikTok I have seen this book a lot. I think it's kind of had its like resurgence. This book is called My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. I'm not sure why I didn't read this 10 years ago. For some reason I didn't trust my dad that this would be a good book. I think at the time I was super into like YA romance, and so the fact that it was called My Brilliant Friend, I was like, not my type of book right now. But now I'm into this type of stuff. But it's also a quartet, so there's 4 books. He also recommended me to read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, and that is like one of my all-time favorite series. He also recommended me I Am Pilgrim, which is one of my favorite books ever. He also loved Norwegian Wood. Wow, my dad has great taste in books and I should listen to him more. I got back from the park and almost immediately fell asleep. The sun just like got to me. I wasn't even sitting in the sun, like I was trying to stay in the shade because I have very sensitive skin, but it still made me so tired. So I don't know how long I slept for. I don't think it was more than an hour, but I'm so tired. I feel like every time that I start reading, I'm like getting into a trance. Reading is quite meditative, I think that's the word for me, and so when I kind of get into a loop, I just kind of start drifting off. But I'm really loving this book, so I'm trying my best not to fall asleep because I genuinely want to read more. It's just very easy to read. The first part of the book starts off when they're children. It's actually really sweet and relatable. Also, there was a prelogue, is that what you call it? A prelude. There was a bit at the start where it tells you a little story about the present, and then you're taken back to when they're children. And in the present part, Leela, she's disappeared. I guess we're getting to that point. I'm gonna continue, try not to fall asleep again, otherwise I won't sleep tonight and I have to go to work tomorrow. But yeah, just so you know, so far it's very good. Really happy with it. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 5. I much preferred this to Giovanni's Room because it had so much more of a story, a plot. There were highs and lows, just a lot more happened. I also felt less confused with this one. Giovanni's Room, I felt like I didn't really know what was happening half the time because it kind of just jumped randomly around. It's also just like painfully relatable. It's about 2 young girls who become, I guess, best friends, but at the same time they kind of compete against each other to be the smartest, to be the prettiest. I feel like I was definitely quite competitive with my best friend at school. My whole friendship group actually was very, very smart. Everyone got like 10 A stars at GCSEs, and that was because we all pushed each other to do better because no one wanted to be the worst. And that's like what happens in this. There's also a lot of the main character feeling very insecure, looking at her best friend and thinking, how is she so perfect? It's so unfair. And again, that's kind of how I felt. It's a great depiction of any girl growing up, and this is specifically their childhood in the 50s. There's a lot of sexism. The children stop going to school. Well, some of them stop going to school when they're like 13, which is not legal anymore. And also there is a sexual assault. Be wary of that. Just overall, I really enjoyed it. I actually spoke to Frankie today, my friend who gave me Giovanni's Room, and she didn't like this book. I'm thinking we just have different taste in books, and I can't wait to get the next 3. Thank you, Dad, for another great recommendation. I have one last book that I want to try, and this book was actually recommended by my boss at work. She's given me this book because she loved it so much. She told me she read it in like 2 days, and it's called Rosewater by Liv Little. I believe this is a debut novel. I actually don't know anything about it. One of the quotes on the back: a wonderfully fresh, zesty and sexy debut novel who is putting black queer lives, loves and longings centre stage where they belong. And hey, it's June now. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Yay. So I guess this is the perfect time to read a book like this. No way. Oh my god, it's signed. It is like 8 PM, but I think I'm gonna go outside and read. It's still light outside and it's still like quite warm. So yeah, I'm gonna go and sit like on the bench or something.
The sun killed the beast. Too hard to even sleep at night. Underneath the ground it bleeds. Taking in the weeds. I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, I am alive. The only one will find us. He knows eternal silence. The house is swallowed down us. We try to grasp at anything. I am alive, I
I'm literally about 50 pages into this book and I already know that I'm going to love it. It feels similar to Cleopatra and Frankenstein in the sense that this is a woman in her 20s who is feeling really lost in life, but this one obviously centers around a queer black woman, which is a story that rarely gets to be told. So I think this is going to be really important. It starts off with Elsie actually being evicted from her home. You're kind of thrown into a really tumultuous time where she feels completely unstable, and then I assume it's only going to kind of get worse, hopefully before it gets better. Hopefully it gets better at the end, I don't know though. But I am gonna stop here because I'm really tired. I think this is probably gonna be one of my favorite books of this year so far. If you want to know what my final review of this book is going to be, then you can follow me on my Instagram or my Goodreads account and I'll post about it there. I hope you enjoyed reading with me and let me know if you've got any recommendations yourself for me to read. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye!